Greetings fellow Decepticons, Sound Blaster 1987 here with another Transformers Universe 2008 review. Today I'll be looking at the black and silver repaint, the black, brown and silver repaint of Transformers Cybertron Voyager class Vector Prime. This review is coming off the back of a new Legacy Evolution / Legacy United release based on the G2G Axis mold. As you can see here, Vector Prime is an ancient Cybertronian spacecraft, vaguely similar in design to that of Darth Maul's sort of Scimitar Sith infiltrator ship from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. But obviously this one's covered in clockwork details, some of which are picked out in silver and others are not. Obviously it's straight repaint of the 2005/2006 Cybertron Galaxy Force mold. Sadly, I don't have the original for comparison, but what I do have is the Mystic Force Red Dragon Morphin Ranger action figure. Having grown up with the Cybertron cartoon but not the Vector Prime toy, I always use the Red Ranger as Vector Prime because of his flying alt mode and big sword. Because imagination is a wonderful thing when you're about 6. Anyway. As you can see, Vector Prime comes with his Minicon partner Safeguard, who I'll gently dislodge from his little cavity up here, because Safeguard's nose is currently pointing directly on top of the missile launcher trigger. I don't want to shoot that off because I'll lose the missile, so putting Vector Prime to one side for a moment. As you can see here, Safeguard is a Minicon kind of similar to some of the Armada Minicons I've already covered on the channel. Mixed with a little bit of G1 Target Master influence due to the way that he pegs onto Vector Prime's arm as a sort of sniper rifle type thing. So to transform Safeguard, just unfold the legs like so from the back and flip down the feet like so. Then fold back the nose cone like so. And here we have Safeguard in robot mode. Now Safeguard's head is fused in place because obviously it's a simplified Minicon figure. But he does have ball jointed elbows for swivel and bending movement, as well as a pinned hinge 360 degree swivel of the shoulders. He also has pinned hinge legs that sometimes move in unison due to sharing a pin, but they can move independently as well. And the feet are also pinned in place for transformation so they can hinge around, which means that although the main body can sit inside Tidal Wave, in his landing pod mode, the length of this gun barrel thing here means that Safeguard would have to be mistransformed into G1 Target Master Caliburst form in order to actually sit properly. But I'll come back to Safeguard later, because now it's time to focus more on Vector Prime. So, those of you who are familiar with this figure will notice that I'm missing a piece here. Vector Prime's sword for rifling is supposed to slot into this piece here to make out the symmetry of the pointy spires on the outside edge of his vehicle mode, but sadly I have lost the sword for the time being. I'll try and track it down so that Vector Prime can be a size comparison in a future video. But without further ado, to transform, first close up the solar panel wings and bring them out on these ratchets here. Then what you want to do next is unfold the legs from the undercarriage like so. One thing I forgot to mention in vehicle mode is the fact that the feet have got little rolling wheels on them so you can move around, and the knees as well actually, so you can roll around in vehicle mode. Ratchet the feet into position. Then what you want to do next is fold back the massive great nose piece here and rotate the head 180 degrees. Then ratchet these pieces down like so, so the solar panels become a sort of cape combined with the cockpit piece like so. Then you want to bring up the shoulder pads like so, disconnect the arms and slip these fist covers backwards. Like so, and transformation is complete. Then if I get Safeguard back into his vehicle mode, He would normally plug onto Vector Prime's left arm as a sort of wrist-mounted sniper rifle type thing, almost like the Autobot equivalent of Megatron's fusion cannon. Now, for those who don't know, Vector Prime is supposed to be like the god of time in Cybertron terms, so he's basically like a Transformer equivalent of the Doctor from the Doctor Who franchise. So much so, in fact, that in the IDW comic book series, Vector Prime actually used John Pertwee's Doctor incarnation, the third one, as a holographic pilot and sometimes a holographic avatar when entering, human-sized civilizations and such. He would basically, digitally project an image of the third Doctor as his sort of representation of his full-size Cybertronian form. So, articulation-wise, Vector Prime's head can swivel 360 degrees for transformation. Then the shoulder pads can also move up and down. Shoulders have got universal forward and back and in and out ratchet joints. There's also a swivel just below the elbow and a very, very strong ratchet of the elbow joint. Nothing of a wrist due to the transformation engineering. The fact this is a figure from the Cybertron line. All chunky ratchets and very little swivels and such. Then you've got nothing of a waist, but you do have forward and back hip joints, which are somewhat restricted due to the shape of the hip skirt cable and whatnot, but they can move outwards as well. Then you've got a just over 90 degrees knee bend, and the toes can point for transformation's sake on a ratchet. Now, the main downside to only the Universe 2 version of Vector Prime over the Cybertron and Galaxy Force model variant is the fact that the battery compartment for his Cyberkey gimmick has been completely gutted, which means there's no point in me showing it, just as well because I haven't got a Cyberkey to hand anyway. But in the original version of this figure from 2005, plugging his Cyberkey into this slot here, in the cartoon it would have created a tachyon force field, which was powerful enough to block Megatron's punch in the first episode, or one of the early episodes anyway. And in the original toy, it would have caused this little blue orb on the chest to light up with a few sound effects and such. Sadly, that's not possible with my copy, because with it being a Universe 2 version, the electronics have been gutted. So the only gimmicks aside from the sword storage that this figure has, aside from the minicom ports, is the spring-loaded firing missile, which as always I'm not going to fire because I don't want to lose it. So, for size comparison in robot mode, here we have Vector Prime with Legacy Stunticon Drag Strip, and if I'll just quickly transform this guy for a brief moment, the red Dragon Morphin Ranger from Power Rangers Mystic Force, one of the multiple toy-exclusive alternate configurations of the Ranger designs that were built into the American release of the toy line, who I'll be reviewing next on the channel. Like I was saying, this figure used to be my imagination version of Vector Prime growing up, having had the Cybertron cartoon on DVD but never actually owned a Vector Prime toy. And as you can see, his sword is more or less the right kind of size for Vector Prime to wield realistically. It's a little bit loose in there, being a 3 or 4 millimeter sword handle on a 5mm post hand grip, but that more or less concludes my review of the Universe 2 repaint of Cybertron Vector Prime. I've been Sandblaster1987, thanks again for watching. My next review will be the Dragon Morphin Red Ranger from Mystic Force. Till then, till all are one.